Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears taking on Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. Week 1 of a new NFL season. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis back with you for another year from the booth. And Charles, these San Francisco 49ers last postseason, remember they were a 6th seed, came within 1/4 of getting to the Super Bowl. Quite a story, and it certainly creates a lot of optimism as they begin a new season today against Chicago.
And how about the amount of history between these two franchises? You're talking two of the oldest and proudest teams in the entire league, let alone the NFC. And how about their all-time series? It's tied at 32 wins each with 1 tie. And how about this? They've alternated wins the last 7 meetings. Should make for a nice battle.
The Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way.
Justin Fields endured some literal growing pains his rookie season, taking hits and being forced to run for it behind a porous offensive line. But he also had moments where he showed his upside as a franchise quarterback. He did win 2 of his first 3 starts and had a 100-yard rushing game against San Francisco in Week 8. Several offseason changes in Chicago should help get Fields some help in year 2.
Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Fields on 3rd down. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he will have the Bears first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really 1 step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Montgomery running right to about the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Fields escaping the pressure right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the 44, Fields throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners will take over here at their own 14-yard line. 49ers offense trots out for their first series, and they're led by the 3rd overall pick for the 2021 draft out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
San Francisco opted not to throw Trey Lance into the fire right away, bringing him along slowly last season. He still drew 2 starts, though, and showed flashes of his huge dual-threat potential in both. Almost 100 yards on the ground in a tough one against Arizona, and 280 total yards in a win over Houston. No bringing him along slowly in year 2. The keys to the car are officially his.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Now former 6th-round pick, it's Elijah Mitchell. They find some open field here. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now Lance going to throw. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
second and goal. Lance. That's another one complete to Mitchell. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Mitchell will score. Touchdown, 49ers. So important in this league to capitalize on the other team's mistakes. Here they force the turnover on the opening drive, then come right down and score.
And I would add that it's important to capitalize on other teams' mistakes early. That way, you build confidence for yourself and your team. You start playing a little more freely. And you let the other guys know we're prepared to play.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas. 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Samson Abukum. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Now it's Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now an option play on second down. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
The Bears on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. From the 50, here's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Samson Abuka in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. A 40-yard punt, giving 3 on the return, and the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Mitchell, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 13, Lance taking a shot for Samuel. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 89 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Gold with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Fields. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Into a sea of defenders, had intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick six to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shot.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
Now Gold for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Back to throw, Fields. Montgomery, another target and catch. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the 45 on 2nd down. Fields over the middle, complete. That's Montgomery. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles. And as you see, They were winners back on Thursday night. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. The Falcons trying to start the season right and is looking good so far at home. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Lance. And he will find his man Samuel. And out across midfield down to the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. Oh, what a catch by Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the option right is Lance. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Trey Lance from 17 yards out. And the Niners are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken right on the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
The drive will start with an option going left. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Kyler Gordon stopped that play before it ever got going. Great job. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hurry. Ready.
Throwing now is Lance. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And Lance now to throw. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk from 17 yards out. And the Niners open the lead up to 34-0. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into week 2. This has been an impressive week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And they're going to get this is beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And some room to roam now. There he goes, right side. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the 49ers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road, week 1. You're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular...
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields steps away. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
130 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. First down, here's Mitchell. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one 28 yards on the ground. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Lance, a give now to Sermon. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Second and 12. Try the right side with Mitchell. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
Check back.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Ready up.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Coming.
And they'll go for it. Lance. That's to his running back, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Gold to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And his throw is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Javon Kinlaw busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep.